Hey friends, it's November. It's that time when we celebrate all of the things that we are thankful for that have happened throughout the year. And so I thought this would be a great time to talk about something that is very, very near and dear to my heart. If you've been around the studio for a while, you know I take very, very seriously. Yes, of course, I am talking about thank you cards. In this video, I'm going to talk about why I feel thank you cards are so important for actors, and I'm going to give you some tips and tricks on how you can send great thank you cards that will really express your gratitude to the people you're sending them to. But first, I need coffee. It might seem that sending thank you cards is like something you have to do because that's like what adults do. But in reality, they are a form of business hospitality. This is a term you might not have heard of before. This is a way of developing a relationship with a particular client. In the case of actors, the people that hire us for jobs are the clients we are trying to develop relationships with. We send thank you cards traditionally to say thank you for the opportunity of getting to work with you. We also, kind of in tradition, send thank you cards as a way of saying thank you after a job interview. It is something that a lot of potential employers really do take value in when it comes to looking at potential hires. Thank you cards are something that employers look at as a really, really important kind of way of evaluating people when they're deciding who they want to hire. And since casting teams are the people trying to hire us as actors, this really is no different. I tell clients that anytime you had a successful audition, you should send a thank you card. Now, I'm not going to say that you should send a thank you card for every open call you attend. That's a lie. But if you had a successful audition and you created a connection in the audition room, let's say you had a really good one-on-one conversation with the director, maybe the director recognized something on your resume and you had, a couple-minute conversation about it, that would be the point to send the thank you card. You're not thanking them for the opportunity of auditioning for them. That's your job. Auditioning for them is your job, and watching auditions is their job. So what are you really saying thank you for? You're saying thank you for the opportunity to connect with them, for the experience that you had a really great time in the audition room. It was a positive experience, and you're saying thank you for creating such a warm, welcoming environment for me to come in and do my job. Thank you for being a great client. Like, that's really what a thank you card is for. Writing thank you cards can be a little bit of a challenging endeavor because I know that it is hard to sometimes track down the information for particular people in the audition room. So the first thing that I would say is at every single audition, you should go to the front table and see that breakdown of who is in the room. One thing that I tell a lot of people to do is to take a picture of it and save that so that you don't have to sit and write down all of the information while you're standing there, because that can get a little uncomfortable. Just snap a picture of it and then you can copy that information into your audition journal. Yes, you need an audition journal. If you don't have an audition journal, don't worry. I've got you covered. I'm going to do a video about that at the very, very beginning of 2021. I would say collect this information mostly for the purposes of putting it into your audition journal, but you can start to kind of anticipate who you might be connecting with when you're in the room. Once you've had that great experience in the audition room, you are probably going to want to kind of mentally note who you had the conversation with. You might not have the conversation with everyone on the team. It might just be maybe the music director, or maybe it was the casting director, or maybe it was even the accompanist. Either way, if you're having that great conversation with someone, you're going to want to note who that person was. Now, really at this point, you're just getting their name. You're just getting the name of who those people are. And like I said, most of that stuff is going to be put on that breakdown sheet that is going to be at the monitors table. That is something that is standard practice in professional auditions. It's actually a requirement at many auditions. However, if for some reason you're at an audition and they don't have that, you can ask the monitor who's in the room. All you have to say is, I'm collecting information for my audition journal. Can you tell me who's in the room? It's that simple. If for some reason you don't have the information of who's in the room or who you connected with, it is totally okay to ask. Just say, hey, I wanted to connect with this person afterwards to tell them thank you. Would you mind telling me the name of who the casting director was? That is a perfectly acceptable and professional thing to do. If you're on set and you have a great interaction with a producer, the same type of situation can happen. You can collect that information from the call sheet, or you could collect that information maybe from someone else that's around. You might even have it in the audition breakdown. Collecting the name is the important part here because that's really all you're going to be able to get at this stage. From that point on, maybe you received an email from one of these people. If you did, that's perfectly fine. You can always send a thank you card as an email as a worst case scenario. But if they work at a particular casting office or a particular production company, there's going to be an address somewhere that you can get that information for. If you have an agent and you're trying to find that information, feel free to get them involved in the process. Just say, hey, I really wanted to send a thank you card to insert name here. Do you have any way of contacting them? Agents are a great resource for contact information, and especially if you're doing something like that, where you want to send them a thank you card, your agents are going to love that, and they're going to want to help you make that happen. Again, don't be afraid to ask for help. Just say, I really had a great connection with this person, and I wanted to send them a thank you card. Could you help me figure out how I can do that? A great way of using thank you cards to your advantage is to connect your thank you cards to your branding. Again, as I've talked about in branding, color and fonts and textures and images are all really, really important to conveying information to your customers. There are lots of places out there where you can order custom thank you cards. Personally, I love Vistaprints. I think they have really nice quality cards for very inexpensive pricing, but you don't even have to get custom cards. You can just go to Walmart or Target or Walgreens or CVS and find whatever card feels like it represents your brand. So this might be finding cards that are a particular color, or they might have a saying on them or a picture on them that matches your brand. You want to find something that represents you, because these thank you cards are probably going to be something that they're going to hang on to, and every time they see that card, they're going to think of you. When you're looking at what to write in your thank you cards, this is probably the most important part. All you need to do is say thank you. So here's an example of what to write in a thank you card. Let's say you and the casting director, let's call her Amanda, had a great conversation after realizing that you both went to the University of Wisconsin. Go Badgers! When you go to write your thank you card, here's what you would write. Hey Amanda, thank you so much for the fantastic audition room experience the other day. It was so cool getting to talk to a fellow Badger. You made the whole audition room experience so fun and positive and supportive, and I just felt like I could really showcase my work in your space, and it means so much that I got that chance to do that. Thank you again, and then sign your name. That's it. That's all you write. Do you notice that there was no, I look forward to auditioning for you again in the future, or I look forward to hearing from you about this project, or I can't wait to work on your show? No, don't do any of that. You're not thanking them for hopefully casting you, because that hasn't happened yet, and you're also not thanking them for the chance to audition for them. What you're thanking them for is the experience that they gave you in the audition room. As someone who has sat behind the table, it It means a lot when someone says that they really enjoyed being in the audition room with me, that they felt comfortable, that they felt kind of their nerves drop away. That's a big deal. That means a lot. That's something that a lot of us that sit behind the table work really hard to create. Thank them for that. Be a genuine person. This is not a chance to upsell or to try to convince them to see you again. Not the point. Not the job. The job of the thank you card is to say thank you. Thank them for the experience. It's that simple. If you have a thank you card for a particular industry person that you're really wanting to send, but you're not exactly sure what to say or how to say it, feel free to reach out to me during office hours or feel free to schedule a session. I'd love to talk through these thank you cards with you. That's it for this video. As always, actors, you're awesome, be awesome, and I'll see you next time.